You think CSI and NCIS are popular in your part of the world? Well, in here in East Tennessee, forensics is such a big deal that we literally teach it to middle school kids. Each summer, the University of Tennessee offers a Fun with Chemistry forensic chemistry camp for middle school students, run by Dr. Al Hazari. Today, the kids are analyzing various chemicals, household chemicals, trying to figure out what they are in real life. They're also performing experiments and some other stuff. Does it contain lead or not? They're doing soil testing upstairs. And they get to see a slideshow from the one and only Dr. Bill Bass, founder of the world-famous Body Farm here at the University of Tennessee. We're here with the guru of forensic anthropology, Dr. Bill Bass from the University of Tennessee and founder of the one and original Body Farm.
Well, thank you, Frank, for having me.
Now, Dr. Bass, today's event is a forensic chemistry camp for middle schoolers. It's a week-long event run by Dr. Al Hazari, focusing on chemistry, but you actually talk about crime scenes and body part identification. What is the difference between talking about forensics to middle schoolers versus the college students and graduate students that you normally talk to?
Well, I think that you find in the middle schoolers, they're really excited. They are looking at all of these things in education to see if it's something that I would be interested in, and all of a sudden they have found something. Many of them, not everybody, but many of them have found something. Oh, I want to do that, and that's exciting. I mean, you can see them just light up. I mean, it's like a light bulb, when you get an idea and the light bulb comes on. Well, you can just see the light bulbs come on in the class when you've got middle schoolers in there.
The Body Farm, which is the University of Tennessee's forensic anthropology research facility, is where you allow donors to decompose naturally. The point of that is to establish the timeline. And why is that important?
Well, in every murder case, in every death case, really, the question is how long have they been dead? And this is difficult. Until we really, I hate to say it this way, but until we started doing the research at the Body Farm, most of that information was anecdotal. You'd have a forensic pathologist who knew how long it would take bodies to decay, and he would get a feel for it, but there was no science involved in it. And I thought, what we need to do is to begin to scientifically document the events that occur as a body decays, and publish this so that everybody can use it. And that's what we're doing. It's a lot more complicated than I originally thought. And after 40 years of doing this, I still don't feel like I'm very far down the line of really figuring it out.
Well, Dr. Bass, we appreciate your time very much. The website to learn more about the books is jeffersonbass.com. And, of course, we'll have the links for you here on SmokyMountainMorning.com. We appreciate you very much, Dr. Bass.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And do check out the next Dinner with the Bone Doctor coming up. You can find that information at bonezones.com.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Each summer, the University of Tennessee runs several summer enrichment camps, and the most popular of those has got to be the Forensic Chemistry Camp run by Dr. Al Hazari of the Chemistry Department. Hi, Dr. Hazari. How are you?
How's it going? All right. We're doing good.
Now, I noticed today you're wearing something different. Last time I saw you, you had on your Sherlock Holmes hat.
Well, actually I have a tie underneath this. That is Sherlock Holmes, so I'm deep inside Sherlock Holmes kind of a guy, so that's all right.
Now, tell us a little bit about the experiments that middle schoolers will be performing during this week-long forensic chemistry camp that you organize.
Well, let me just start by saying something about the camp itself. It started about 20 years ago when I came to UT, and I got the graduate students excited about having a summer camp for middle schoolers. And recently we have taken advantage of this big CSI stuff. Everybody's curious about it and so on. So we have instituted about 6 years ago or so the forensic chemistry camp. And it's 5 afternoons, usually in June, early June or mid-June. And the kids do all kinds of experiments. First they start here and we talk about what we're going to do in that day. And then we go to the lab for 2 hours and actually analyze the evidence and compare and do all all kinds of analysis. And of course, we need to remember that as we do these things, we use the scientific method, and that's what Dr. Bass actually uses as he does his job.
Now, I took a tour of the National Forensic Academy recently, and it was all grown-ups, and they were trying to make us think we were really learning stuff. My son happened to be with me, and at the end of it, he pulled me aside and said, "Dad, you know, they did the exact same experiments at Dr. Hazari's forensic chemistry camp. We took Twizzlers and marshmallows and toothpicks and made DNA molecules."
Actually, I have some in right there. Maybe somebody can get them from me. Yeah, just yesterday we were the printing mood. Printing theme was printing for the day, the first day, and we did fingerprints, we did lip print, and the best one of them is lip print because I get to put lipstick on me once a year and put them make a lip print, and then
That would be our lab assistant, the world-renowned forensic anthropologist, Dr. Bill Bass.
and DNA printing, and yes, we do get to build the DNA with Twizzlers, and here's what the kids did actually.
Now, you saved yours. I ate mine at the end of the experiment.
We never eat in the chemistry class. No licking of the spoon in the chemistry class. Sorry, sorry. But this is a fun activity, and the kids really get out great out, and they match up the right
CG, right, and A.
and AT. Yeah. So
That's what I retained. Dr. Al Hazari, we appreciate it. It's fun with forensics. It's fun with chemistry. A summer camp for middle schoolers held each June at the University of Tennessee. And the kids are almost here, so maybe we can get looking at some experiments.
Wonderful. Thank you. That would be great. Yes.
All right. Dr. Hazari, thanks again for your time. We appreciate the invitation to be here.
All right.
Yeah! That's my CSI Miami impression. All right. Now we're going to go do something. Let's find out what's cooking over here. All right, who's got chemicals they can mix together?
Oh, we've got plenty of chemicals to mix together. Anybody want to mix some chemicals together?
Oh,
all
I
right.
see some volunteers.
Yeah, there you go.
Volunteers right here. All right, where do we start? Where do I look? All right, this is Rachel, and Rachel, I can see by your name tag, you're going to mix some chemicals together. What are we looking at?
One of these is lead filled, and we're going to mix this with some of this to see which one has most.
All right, let's give it a try. I want to see something happen. So you're going to take one of these labels, okay?
So which vial?
All right, so what did you do there, Rachel?
Just squirted some of this in here, and I'm going to put 1 drop of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the more yellow it is like that, the more lead's in it.
So you made it turn yellow because why?
Because the chemical reaction shows the lead in the sample right here.
Wow, so now we've learned that one of these bottles has lead in it, and it's this one because it reacted to the agent that tests for lead.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, that's pretty cool stuff now. Look at that. I could make Easter eggs out of that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Be a bit deadly, but yeah.
Well, I could sell them in China because they've got lead in them. All right, so we've seen lead. Now we need to get into the next one over here. Okay. All right. We're here at the University of Tennessee inside the chemistry lab where Dr. Al Hazari's Fun with Forensic Chemistry class is happening. And these kids have bags of unknown chemicals that they're going to try to analyze and figure out what exactly is in these various white powders. Here's Dr. Hazari himself giving Dr. Bill Bass the tour.
Yes, Dr. Bill Bass is right here. And what are we doing here? We're testing drugs. Well, kind of materials that look like drugs, you know, baking soda and aspirin and Alka-Seltzers.
So a drug enforcement agent would find a bag of white powder, not know what's in it, and rather than just have him test it and see how high he gets, you would have him perform chemical exam.
First test is usually a little vinegar or a little acid because it separates substances into things that like carbonates and so on that give a fizz off and give a gas, carbon dioxide, or not. You know, so we can kind of make that break right there, right away. And that's what actually how I got started with Dr. Bass. He brought me a sample and said he doesn't know what this stuff is. So because somebody gave it to me, the lawyer or somebody, and the first test we did is just add a little acid.
Oh, okay. And that's where the partnership developed between Dr. Bass, who does forensic anthropology, which is bones and body parts, with Dr. Hazari, now doing some forensic chemistry.
So that's an important thing.
All right, so let's take a peek and see. I see we've got bags marked Brogaine and Rotaran. What does that mean?
Well, these are just fake names for some of these substances. the baking soda
Okay.
and the Alka-Seltzer.
Because part of it for the chemists, for the camp goers, is you're telling a story.
Telling a story, and then again, it's a chemical testing. We're trying to instill in them what should they look for to find out whether a reaction is happening or not. So there's gas formation, color change, maybe heat or cold formation. I mean, so just various evidences of reaction, and from then they can kind of narrow down the, of course, compare what the evidence to the what they found.
The known results are compared to the unknown.
This is what we do here. All the camp activities involve known versus unknown. That's what you do, Dr. Bass, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's been a big day here at Forensic Chemistry Camp. We've learned about soil, we've learned about chemistry, we've learned about forensics, we've learned about body parts, and there's a whole lot more. It's Forensic Chemistry Camp for middle schoolers. I'm not making this up.